So there's another one tonight. Just wonder what you thought. Seeing all the, not just the inductees.
Yeah, the
but
Remembrance Day stuff,
Yes.
I think, stood out to me that last time.
That's right.
Actually, as I recall, that was one of the games I was honored to take the ceremonial face-off. So I still have that. I think it was a medal or a coin that one of the generals, I think, gave to me that night. So I mean, it's an important occasion here in Toronto, and so I think it adds significance to the evening for sure.
Dominic, as a young man, what are your recollections when Cliff was able to acquire Dave Andreychuk to add to that really good nucleus that was already here?
Well, that was the prime of my Leaf fanship in those years with Andreychuk and Dougie, and I think I remember well just how complimentary those guys were to each other, and obviously Dougie did what he did well, but Andreychuk was the best in the business at what he did in front of the net there, and I still remember some incredible goals with a guy of his size being able to spin, and I remember he spun and roofed one on the backhand that was just like incredibly impressive for a guy like that size to be able to have hands like that, and all those things were complementary and made them a good team.
How would you describe what it's like when you face a former team like you're going to do tonight?
Like every second day.
Well, it's I think obviously given that it's fresh, it's definitely a different type of night, and we'll just approach it the same way though. Just do my job as best I can.
Who have you been staying in touch with on the Bruins? Is there?
There's a good crew, that I've been in touch with, and they've had some injuries this year to two guys that I respect a lot, McQuaid and Backus, and so hopefully those guys recover and get back on the ice.
The leadership aspect in that room really is second to none. What was it like to be able to rub shoulders with Zdeno and Patrice in that ilk?
Yeah, they definitely unquestionably have a great leadership group there. Marshy, same thing. And these guys are, and Z, having been around for as long as he has, the character that he has, a ton of respect for that. So they're lucky to have that in that room.
Because you were there, do you have any book on some of these young guys that are here that they're using in this?
I'm aware of how guys play, maybe a little bit better than people who haven't seen them as much. But I mean, in this league, you kind of know what you're going up against most nights for the most part, and at the same time, you just try and prepare to do what you do well.
What was your take on Charlie McAvoy when he came up towards the end of last year?
Obviously very impressed with his poise and, coming into the NHL and the playoffs, straight out of college. Pretty impressive the way he was able to carry himself on the ice and play. And I haven't really seen too many of their games this year, but I'm sure it's continued to be more of the same.